I'm delighted, I've been lottie-dotting. Not a lot of thoughts when I ponder from the top. Man, these boys, they be potting. I trust them like a lot, and they told me that I get it. Guess what? I got it. You should do it too. You will never lose. If you ever do, it must have been a ruse. Ricky, that's my dude. Stoops is super cool. Sharks up in the pool. I've been sparking up my tools. I've been looking to win. Spend a little again. I've been first fiddle to them. My God, I riddled again. I told them stop clowning around. They said what goes up comes down. I said I'm down with the sickness. My team stay ill now. Come get this. I'm just so Devy delight. I stay ready tonight. Deep dive, we rise. That's the medley, alright. Devy delight. Devy delight. Da 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 da. Devy delight. Hey.
Welcome to another episode of the Devy Delight, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I am your host, Ricky Valero. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime here, Stoops. How are you today, bud?
I am great. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this SEC stuff.
Conundrum, right?
Yeah. Whether it's going to happen with Texas and Oklahoma, whether it's not going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks. Stoops and I, we haven't officially recorded an episode of the Devy Delight in a little bit over a month, I think now. We both had some vacations planned, and with that, we kind of just got really busy. And then obviously we had episodes released every week. We had some things that we discussed throughout that time. We did our first ever 2-round mock draft. And today we've got an announcement to make, and we'll make it here in just a few moments. But this last few weeks has been pretty busy. Like as you mentioned, the Texas Oklahoma thing is pretty crazy to talk about. But yeah, more importantly, everybody, like it's kind of hey Shane, it's kind of a reflection episode, and kind of also we do have to make an announcement. It's not, I don't really know how to put it. It's not an easy decision that we've had to make. But after I couldn't believe it. I looked it up the other day. August 6th, 2019 was the very, 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 very first episode of the Devy Delight. It was two guys that Andy from Expand the Box Score put together, and we had no idea who each other was. We didn't talk at all other than a few text messages, and we just hit it off. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy 3-year run. We've done so much together. Stoops came up to my house. We had an amazing trip down to the Senior Bowl. We had a great run with Expand the Box Score, and then we kind of moved on. We kind of did our own thing, and then the Drive-In Podcast Network kind of formed from that idea, and then we're kind of here to announce that this is it. This is the Devy Delight is going to be no more. It's hard to say. It's been. Stoops and I had a long conversation, and there's been a lot of things that have gone on in both of our lives, and and Stoops, I think you said it best before we came on the air. If you can't give 100% to something, then why are you doing it, right? And that's kind of where this decision comes from. Yeah,
it's just one of those where if you, like you say, if you can't give 100%, it's tough to feel like you're giving the best information possible. Like, yes, we showed up every week, and I don't want people to think, we just kind of were like, we'll record this week. Like, that was never the case, right? We always gave it everything, but it was always kind of like, if you leave an episode feeling like I could have gave a little bit more, at what point. So we still love college football, obviously.
Yeah.
That didn't go anywhere. Obviously we got A&M over here. So, Isaiah Spiller, RB1. Yeah.
We'll still be fighting on that one.
We will. Twitter. And then Sam Howell QB1, but that's the whole thing. No, so it was just it kind of felt like it was time, I guess. That's not to say down the road something else, another idea doesn't pop up and something comes back. So we're not closing the door.
And I want to put that out there as well.
So.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very, 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 very much a mutual decision, Stoops and I, and we've talked about this off the air, but Stoops and I are very good friends.
Yeah.
This is more than just a show for us. Stoops has been around my family. He's called Uncle Stoops in this house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not an easy decision at all. Like I've been thinking about this all day, what the words to say. I didn't have the words. I wasn't going to have the words. I was just going to let them kind of come out. And honestly, that's what it's done. You know what I mean? It's been an amazing 3 years. Like we've done so much in this 3 years. I mean, I looked at it. I think we've had over 60,000 plays on our podcast in 3 years, which is even insane to think about that.
When we
people
when we first started it, the first, I don't know, couple episodes, whatever.
Yeah.
We would be like 40 people listened. Like
we were excited about it, man.
Awesome. And then the numbers obviously continue to rise from there. And it was, we greatly appreciate that. Obviously
the support's been insane. Like the support has been absurd. The community has been amazing. I love the growth within the Devy community. I've loved watching people grow. I love the people we've had people listen to our show weekly for 3 years, a healthy amount of people that continue to support us. Like it was crazy. Stoops and I would always text. I would always upload the show on a Saturday morning after we record it. And by Sunday we would have so many people that were just dedicated to this show, right? And dedicated to listening to the Devy Delight. And it blew my mind. And as each month progressed, the amount of people that listened, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that we kind of grew organically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never paid for any, sponsorship. We showed up, we did our show consistently. We never missed a week. We haven't missed a week in 3 years.
Yeah.
Like we haven't. Like if we missed a week, we already had one recorded in the can. Like it was like the last 5 weeks. You know what I mean? We've had 5 shows. We literally sat down one day and recorded, I think, 4 episodes back to back to back because we wanted to keep putting the content out. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was awesome. Thanks, John. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's been a crazy wild ride, man. And I love the hell out of you, man. It's been insane. You know what I mean? I really I don't have a whole lot of other words to say. I'm probably just going to ramble for the next however many minutes we do this, but you know what I mean? It's been a beautiful ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's one of those things. I didn't even see the initial tweet that Andy had sent out where it's like, hey, got an opportunity, Devy mine, shoot me a message. I didn't even see that. A guy that I was in a league, or still actually I'm in a league with him. I'm in Trade Addicts 3. One of the guys in there, he just tagged me in it or sent me the message or whatever. And I sat there for probably about 2 or 3 minutes, just kind of thinking about it. Like, man, I don't know. Do I really want to? I've always talked about it. I don't know. I was like, you know what? Let me send Andy a message, see what's going on. And then from there, and if you know Andy, he said, just give me a call. Won't take more than 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, we're still talking on the phone. And it was one of those where I kind of told him, I was like, it sounds great. Let me think on it, blah, blah. And Andy, he kept saying, well, it's yours if you want it. It's yours. If you say it's yours. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. So from that moment. And then again.
Yeah. He called me. He's like, I got this guy. This guy in Texas. I was like, okay, all right.
And then he goes, I'll get you his number. And then again, it was maybe
I think
15 text messages and said, that's what we'll talk about. Let's do this, blah, blah. And then after we finished recording the first one, we were just like, that went really well. It was
exactly. The first show was
It was
so
crazy.
good, and it was weird how good it was because there wasn't a lot of communication. Matt, we appreciate that, man. We've loved having you on the show, Bruning. Like you were very pivotal in the growth in the Devy Delight. You've always been very supportive of the show. You guys are growing your own brand out there, which is amazing. Watching it grow, I can't. You guys got the website. That's just booming. But without support from guys like you, the show would have never gotten off its feet, really. You know what I mean? The community is great. You know what I mean? The community within fantasy football, but the Devy community is a very tight-knit group because there isn't a lot. You know what I mean? I felt weird because I think it was like Thursday or Friday, we got tagged in a post that said something along the lines of, man, we need more Devy podcasts in the world. I was like, shit. Like, well... Oh, man. Well, it's going to be one less one out there right now, guys. So the market's there for you.
Well, and it's one of those where I'm sure people have noticed, like, I haven't been on Twitter a whole lot lately. I've kind of taken a step back from it, but I'm not leaving Twitter, right? I once the season kicks off again, I'll have my takes. I'll still be around, There's still questions.
Bad takes that you'll be like,
exactly.
Oh my God. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's just been a blast, obviously, being able to just talk college football and, learn a lot of things along the way too. So it's been fun. It's tough, but there's times in life you've got to do what you think's, at least best in the moment and go with it. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like it's been a whirlwind of a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like we've personally grown, you know what I mean? From two guys that didn't know each other to the friendship that we formed over it to the trip down to Mobile, which was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember while we were down there, it was an insane ride. You know what I mean? Like it just the entire ride down. It was, again, like it was two guys that, we podcast together for as long as we had, but like we had never Stoops was like, hey man, I'm going to fly to Nashville. I was like, cool, you can stay at my house. Like I never met this guy in my life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can't tell you how many, whenever I told them what the plan was, I can't tell you how many people were like, you think that's a good idea?
Exactly.
And I was like, he's fine. Like it's one of those where obviously we had never met in person, but I feel as if I can talk with someone or whatever and get a feeling of kind of who they are. Yeah. And I was like, not once did I have that feeling of like, it's probably not a good idea. So people were just like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I was like, it's totally fine. I'll be fine. And here I am. I'm fine. So
you didn't die.
We're good.
You know what I mean?
It is crazy to think that we had never met each other, flew to Nashville, stayed at your house, drove down to Mobile with, and that was our first time meeting.
And
crazy.
We had the time of our lives. And we don't want to take too much of our time sobbing here. But for those of you listening, I want to throw a special shout out to my boy Gabe. The best podcast intro ever. I swear there's still times that I think that we got 100 listens and people literally only listen to the first minute of the podcast listening to his intro. I can't thank that guy enough. He made a banger of an intro. To everybody at the Drive-In Podcast Network that supported the show. I mean, obviously, I know I run it, but, people within our network supported it, the retweets, the comments, the everything like that. To everybody in the circle, I had a conversation with J Mike once. I had a conversation with Gabe. Both of those guys were very pivotal in the big transition from leaving Expand the Box Score to creating the network.
FF Aviator.
Yep. To Andy. I can't thank Andy enough. You know what I mean? I still got love for Andy because without Andy, there would be no Devy Delight. There would be no Stoops and I's friendship. To anybody that's ever listened to this show, thank you. Like from the bottom of my heart, like you guys don't know how happy it made Stoops and I. Like we could have had 5 listeners and this podcast still would have happened, but the growth has been beautiful. And to anybody that's ever supported the show, from any of our families to anybody that's listening, to anybody that's watching now, then anybody's had kind words to say to us today, from Shane to John to Matt to Diane. It's been a pleasure, Stoops, man. I love you, brother. This has been a great run. You will not. This is not the last you'll ever hear of Stoops and I. We'll
No.
fight on Twitter, but I'm sure sometime in the near future, you know, or in the 6 months from now, we'll hop on and just shoot the shit about whatever. But thank you for listening. Thank you, Stoops, for this amazing 3-year run, and keep an ear out. You know what I mean? I'm still around. I still do some stupid stuff all over the place. You know what I mean? I write still everywhere. And yeah. So I think without further ado, instead of signing off like usual, I'll just, you know, kind of roll off into the music. You know what I mean? Like for anybody that listened and that's the only thing that you wanted, we'll give it to you one more time on the way out the door. Right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
See you later.
Oh, that's your line, not mine.
Yeah. See?
I'm delighted, I've been lottie-dotting. Not a lot of thoughts when I ponder from the top. Man, these boys, they be podding. I trust them like a lot, and they told me that I get it. Guess what? I got it. You should do it too. You will never lose. If you ever do, must have been a ruse. Ricky, that's my dude. Stoops is super cool. Sharks up in the pool. I've been sparking up my tools. I've been looking to win. Spend a little again. I've been first fiddle to them. My God, I riddled again. I told them stop clowning around. They said what goes up comes down. I said I'm down with the sickness. My team stay ill now. Come get this. I'm just so Devy delight. I stay ready tonight. Deep dive, we rise. That's the medley, alright. Devy delight. Devy delight. Da 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 Devy delight. Hey.